So, it is April 16th, and this is how confusing it is for humans to get my part right, because they get mad about everything. I am not like the rest of them in whatever, coming from Iraq. So in my local area now, there are different shades, let's put it this way, they were standing outside of a Colombian restaurant who just happens to have a flag that they share with other worldly participants between Romania, Venezuela, and a few others. So now, in Colombia, in this area, is using those colors. So this is, again, but I've seen some Koreans who call themselves Japanese here, and I've seen some, I don't know what they are, but they try to speak Spanish, but it doesn't sound like Esperanto. Like if Esperanto, oh my gosh, the most pure, beautiful Latin you could ever speak is Esperanto. Just maybe, because I'm here in New York in the Big Apple and I have never been. But if that is like the dream of the Hamlet and the aspiration, because nobody knows what they are or what it means, then it's in that dream format. And what's here is some form of Espanol, even though they call themselves Spanish. Or whatever. They call themselves a lot of things. It's very beseeching. It's very difficult without getting... I don't want to get in trouble. I don't think I am in trouble. And so this is how wonderful the locals are. And I'll tell you a nice story about them. Because I'm in a famine. Like, if you look about you and the architecture, it, like, talks to your heart. And it is just... It is such a sight to be seen, and like, lo and behold, in like the apple of my eye, it is such a feast. Like everywhere I look, the architectural design works, the people are beautiful, the sounds are beautiful. That's like perfect world. I don't live there. I live in the Big Apple. So the buildings, it's mishmash, the people, they're mishmash, the costumes, the everything, nothing makes sense. Their sounds don't match their visual, what they call themselves seems to be like them living in a dream, because if the fatherland heard in this land that you were calling yourself that, dressed that way, I mean, there might be problems, which I don't want to invite in. So I'm walking on the street, and there's something outside, actually there's a group, there's three. I mean, I thought it sounded Greek, or like a Greek base, not a Latin base. But maybe it was a Latin base over the Greek base, I don't know. So anyway, but body's in the basement, they know these things, an interpreter, so the intimidator doesn't come. So anyway, so they're there, and they're outside this restaurant. And there's a woman with her back to me as I'm walking, and then two men, and she says Bianca, which of course I know means white, and then they say, and the man who sounded like he was trying to speak Greek, but with some kind of, I don't know if that's what they call Colombian. I'm not specialized in, they don't give me the book, but it was some kind of Latin over a Greek that he was speaking, which was, I don't know, whatever. And so he says, the meat market. And then the woman says, Bianca? So if that is their suggestion, which I appreciate the words, but they didn't address me directly, which I also appreciate. But in Grand Concourse, as I walk by, I can't help but overhear. If that's their... what they have available for them. I do not have these things, because I don't have a base Bianca. I don't have a base Bianca group, not even the Irish, that I can't really find them. I don't think they send their kids to public school. I think they go to a private school of some sort, which I don't have money for. So that gets confusing. And where I was originally, it was in a safe, secured sort of housing area where there was a schoolhouse where you attended, and then you went home. And then you waited for the next day. But there was also a country club portion where the kids in the more affluent area, they had stuff that went on for them. So, and again, I don't know if that hurt participation with what I needed, but whatever it was at this point. But meat market, I don't know where this is. Like, again, to meet people, where do you go? So it's not, I mean, like, I can't just sit at a bar. I don't have money to do my hair. I don't have money for makeup, and I don't have money for clothing any longer. So I'm out of formity or figurine because now I've got this problem with the orthopedics with walking. So even running is out of the question in order to keep toxic metabolism at a whatever level, performance level, which is where I prefer to be in athletics. It is just like, it is such a deterioration at like every level. It's so difficult. But they are kind in the sense of at least they were trying to give me words on the street. But in theory, a meat market would be a good idea. I mean, as a child, I thought a skating rink, to have a skating place to go, was a good idea because it involved athletics and it involved the movement of dance, kinesthetics. It was fluid. Plus, it had no drugs, no alcohol, no whatever. But again, they haven't installed any of those things in walking distance to where I am. Although I saw that they knocked the WALGREENS went out of business. I'm like, that's a few thousand square feet. It would be nice if they could put an indoor roller rink in. Just saying, if I had a BID contact or whatever. So I wanted to do the same thing in Padjock, but they opened the Emporium instead. So that's the daily events. I do hear them. I hear it's like, I mean, like, again, if you speak niceties, it's like birds in the trees. Alouettes, gentilles alouettes, with à la tête, à la bec, and the plume, des plumes of whatever the birds are sending them, in order to try to help in the gracious manner way, saying it without saying it or whatever, but in real persona between the BSIC and here, but keeping social distancing, so this way, whatever. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. So I appreciate them for their attempt. Again, but for I met some people in Padjock. They had a church that they would gather at. They invited me to their concert. It was mostly in Spanish, which I don't speak well. Not by any, I speak very little. I'm more quiet to digest the hearing, but they invited me there, which I went. They had a meeting place. I'd hear by foot. There's nothing that I can see or that I'm aware of. It's April 16th, 2022. It's Bayside Station.